Do you ever get massively triggered by injustice? Like your whole body lights up with rage when someone's being misrepresented or unfairly judged. So I'm going to share a story about how that's happened for me and just help you to work through it, show you what I've done. So, welcome back to the Reflections of the Sacred Self. I forgot where I was for a minute. And so today's episode, we're talking about somatic release and how to process triggers without burning out. So yesterday, I I was online and I really normally don't get involved in the discussions because I read things online and social media and I hate when people are saying negative stuff about other people, but I just generally let it go. But on this particular occasion, someone was saying that a famous person had said a specific thing and they hadn't. They absolutely had not said that. And it had very much been doctored information. And I found myself getting very angry and almost the point where it was consuming me because it was like how dare they put stuff out about somebody just to get noticed online that isn't even true. And they've twisted what someone has said to try and make their own narrative fit. And then what happens is, and this is the thing that I get really annoyed, is that people just jump on the bandwagon and go, oh yeah, I agree. I don't like that person. It's like, you don't even know that person. And they don't know them. They've just made a snap judgment off one little thing and they've made a decision about somebody. I can feel myself getting annoyed by it as I'm talking about it. And one of the things I've been realizing is it's not just anger if you feel like that. It's like a nervous system flashback described as outrage. Because it's like it's triggering something within you that's happened before. So I want to talk a little bit. What happened to me was like the justice trauma response. So my trigger was seeing somebody being vilified for something they hadn't done. And my somatic response was rage, spinning thoughts, can't let it go. And it has continued to ruminate in my brain, even though there's nothing I can actually do about it. And the truth is, it's a core wound, is that no one believes me or I've been misrepresented. And I'm working on kind of like where this is coming from within me. That in my life I felt, and I have felt it in the past, that people have said that I have said things I haven't, or that I've meant things that I haven't meant. And that's a wound that I'm carrying with me. And ironically, it was a discussion, the clip was a discussion about trauma and whether we get to choose whether we find something traumatic or whether we experience and need to process trauma or not. And obviously, what's happened for me is I've stored something, a traumatic memory in my body, in my nervous system. And when I've heard this whole thing being talked about and something negative being said about somebody that I think has been twisted and distorted, it's triggered an old wound in me from when I've been misrepresented, from when I've been treated badly, and then that's come up with me. And I've had to remind myself, and I'm reminding you now, that if this happens, it's not because you're broken. It's a nervous system protection mechanism. My nervous system has been triggered because it's remembering things that I have experienced in the past, and so it's putting me there having to defend somebody because I wasn't able to defend myself at the time. So now I'm trying to defend somebody else. And then I'm kind of like stuck in what I could call an identity triangle. So there were like two voices in my head. There was the guardian of truth that I must defend. I must set the record straight. I must try and explain this whole situation. And I have to be the protector of this person who people are saying awful things about. The irony of which is, in the clip, the person kind of made it clear that they weren't fazed by stuff. And so the feeling of being rejected or put down, that person probably would not have felt that in the slightest. And so I was defending someone totally unnecessarily. And then the other part of me, it's got the guardian of truth on one side, and the other part was the regulated witness. So the one who can hold the values without being consumed by them. The one who was watching, I was watching it thinking, I don't even know why I'm getting involved in this. And I was very calm about that. I was like, I don't know why. I don't know why this is even bothering me. It's just something that's happening. It's not great. It goes totally against my moral values and my sense of what's right. But things do that on social media all the time. And the truth is, neither of those are wrong. But if I'd stayed in the guardian mode continually, I've got to defend, I've got to protect this person, I've got to get involved in this, I'm going to burn myself out fighting battles that aren't mine. And really, I don't have the energy to do that. So what I've created, and I'm going to share it with you to try and use, and I'm kind of using this a bit more, is I've been using it the last couple of days because this has been bugging me quite a bit. I'm trying to stay off social media to stop getting drawn into these conversations, because normally I don't read the comments of controversial posts because I know what they're going to do to me, and I know that I'm going to want to put the record straight, and then I have to walk away and not do it, because once you get involved, you just get the responses you get are incomprehensible nonsense. And so I try not to get involved in them. But I did on this occasion. And so what I'm doing is, it's a somatic practice to take me from that stage of like being in the guardian, that rage stage, into repair and back into the regulated witness, so I can be really calm and reflect. So the first step of the ritual, and you can do this anytime, so save this video if you want to come back to this ritual, is to feel. This is going to be quite tricky. So you come into it and you journal or voice note what I really want to say, but don't is. So just let everything out, let the rage out safely. And when you're finished, when you've let it all out, right, burn your journal page or delete the voice note, like get rid of it, right? It's gone. So, and you can do that ceremonially. So you actually, think about it, think about what you're doing and say, I'm releasing this and I'm letting it go. And at the same time, I also today did a little bit of cord cutting. So as you're doing that, you can visualize cords from either your voice note or from your written note going back to the person you're trying to protect and the people you're protecting them from, and imagine yourself cutting those cords as you're destroying the what you've felt and what you've let out. And then you need to move a bit. So I've done it before in other my videos about shaking, how shaking helps to release the trauma from the body. So you can be shaking arms and legs and moving around, and you can exhale really deeply. So you're physically letting that anger out of the body as well. And then you can ground by pressing your hands into your thighs or onto a table, even just feeling yourself solid afterwards. So you shake, ground. So you're allowing yourself to let everything out, breathe it out, shake it out, release it, and then come back to grounding. And then once you've grounded, so we've felt, we've cut the cords, we've moved, we've shaken it out, we've breathed, we've sighed it out, we've just let things go, and then we've grounded. So now I'm going to do breathing. So this would be a extending the exhale, which is what helps to really calm the nervous system to let you know you're safe. So you would inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. So I'm going to do a couple of rounds with you, and we can do those. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the next round, as you exhale, you can say to yourself, I am allowed to stop now. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am allowed to stop now. So you're telling yourself, I don't have to keep going through this. I can release it. I can let it go. And then finally, once we've done all of these things, we've calmed everything down, we've released it, or we've let it go, we can come to a state of meditation. So for this, I can talk you through very gentle meditation. So if you can, if you're not doing any driving or operating heavy machinery or anything like that, if you can, come somewhere quiet, sit down with your feet on the floor and allow your eyes to close. And place one hand on your belly and one on your chest. And just become aware of the breath as it moves in and out. Just focusing on that breath, how it feels as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. So really coming to your center. And as you're in this calm state, you can say either in your mind or out loud, I am not responsible for fixing other people's pain. My nervous system is mine to protect. I can let this go without letting myself go. And then you can either stay in this state for a little bit longer, or when you're ready, just come back to the room, opening the eyes and feeling yourself there. And then if you want to, you can journal about how you feel right now. And just allow yourself to kind of feel the shift and what's going on and feel that release. You've let it go, you've calmed, you've brought yourself back to center, and it's okay. And one of the things I would say is, yes, the ideal situation with anything like this is that you regulate your nervous system before you get involved in the conversation, and then you don't really get involved in the conversation because you're regulated, you've let it go, you're calm. But we are human beings, and sometimes we are going to get involved in conversations we don't really want to get involved in. And because we've been triggered and our nervous system's been triggered and we haven't caught it quite in time. And that's not a thing to judge yourself for. It's not a thing for other people to use to judge you. Because that was one of the things in part of the discussion. Somebody did try to use that to judge me. And I am sharing this with you because I am a human being and I haven't got it all figured out and I don't do it perfectly. And sometimes I do react before I regulate my nervous system. And I think that's a good thing to appreciate and to accept and to be honest about and say, yes, that does happen. And the only thing that you can do is then, once you've caught that and you've become more conscious, is then regulate, then bring yourself back down and don't allow it to continue to bother you. And just remembering, okay, that your rage is sacred, okay? It shows you where your boundaries and your wounds live. So for me, it showed me that actually I have a very strong justice gauge, like of what I believe is right. And I do say, I've told people my son is autistic and doing a lot of research. There is some indication that I have autistic traits as well. And one of the things that brings up is a really strong sense of justice and feeling like things have to be right. And so sometimes I will find that I will respond to things very strongly because my sense of justice is so high. And that is okay, but I have to be aware of it and bring myself back so that I don't allow other people's issues to affect me. But I know where my boundaries are and I know the wounds that I have and I know the things that I need to deal with. And just remember that your nervous system deserves rest more than it deserves righteousness. And I have to remind myself that my nervous system needs that protection over proving that there's justice in the world, because, you're never going to get justice for everybody. It's not possible. You have to take care of yourself as well. So as a reflection prompt to think about, now you've done all of those exercises, you brought yourself calm, feeling good. What wound in me is screaming for repair through this fight, through this right now, through this fight, through this feeling, through this sensation? So what wound is screaming for repair? So obviously mine is feeling misunderstood and being judged for things that I haven't said or haven't done, and things that I've clearly held on to for a long time. So that's where I am, and I'd love to hear where you are. So if this resonated, like and subscribe so more people can learn to regulate instead of spiral. And if you'd like to connect with me more, I have lots of practices in my free school group, the Sacred Pause. The link is in the description, and I would absolutely love to welcome you in there. See you again soon.